What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Spence from Soul Sanity doing another sneaker review. Today I got the UNC Reimagined. I'm gonna be comparing it with two different shoes. One that matches the color description of powder blue, and the other is this shoe's big cousin. We cousins. So these do release tomorrow, May 10th, for a retail price of $180. I don't see these being super hard to get. I wouldn't not put in a raffle or anything like that, but none of the last few Jordan 1 highs have sold out. None of the lows have really sold out. The rookie of the year is very close to selling out, but just based off of previous releases, it's not looking super hectic for this one. So, you know, don't pay resale obviously beforehand or anything like that is all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't go try to get them on day one. Don't let me be the reason you don't get these shoes because I said they're not going to be that popular. But I haven't heard anybody in the community really talking about these. So this is the fifth Air Jordan 1 that came out in 1985 to be reimagined. The first one being the patent bread, the second one being the Lost and Found, the third one being the Royal Reimagined, and then the fourth one being the Black Toe 1 that came out this year. And then now we have got the, what are they calling it? Dark Powder Blue. Obviously they can't say UNC anymore. So Dark Powder Blue Jordan 1. This is not a shoe that's been heavily retroed. It gets mids and it gets lows all the time in recent years. But before now, 1985 original retro. We've never gotten an 85 cut. We have the 2003 return in a patent leather mid form in a pack, and then we have the 2013. It was returned in OG fashion, except it was a mid, but that was commonplace at the time. We're not releasing Jordan 1 high OGs at that time. And then 2 years later, 2015, the only actual retro of this sneaker in a high is the 2015 UNC remastered, which was supposed to look, as close to OG as possible. But if you look at the two, it really doesn't. So this one is awaiting a high 85 treatment. There's also been a UNC metallic that's been surfacing online. So that's something that we might be able to see in the future. Not the same blocking, but just the collar and the swoosh, UNC colored. And then obviously we have the off-white, which I guess that's 2018, off-white 2018, UNC Jordan 1. So the 2015 and 2018 are the only time the UNCs have ever been retroed in a high top fashion, except for this one right here. So this has been a long time coming. But without further ado, let's start looking at the shoes. I'm a little out of breath today. I think it's because I go from like complete silence when I'm like researching or like listening to music or whatever, getting my space, and then like going from 0 words a minute to like 100 words a minute, and obviously that's a big difference. So I need to do these videos like right after we do the pod, because like that's when I'm really in my mojo. So I'm really excited for this shoe. Obviously you're gonna see by the end of this video there's things I don't like about this shoe, but I am still really excited. Before we go any further, this is actually the Lost and Found 2.0, and let me tell you why. Tuck my little stuff back in. So for those of you who haven't noticed already, the box comes aged, pre-aged obviously, in this orange and black fashion. Well, this is the Lost and Found Jordan 1s from 2-3 years ago. Tell me what you notice. Well, both of this box was lost and this box was lost, and now they are found. So let's go ahead and do it. I think this is really fire. Obviously this isn't my pair, so I gotta switch it back before I go any further. But I think when I get my pair, I will be keeping it like this. This was probably the best detail of this shoe, in my opinion. They did not do the sale tags on this one. That's the only thing that we missed. And in the Lost and Founds, we get newspaper print paper, and in this one, we only get this black, brown, like parchment, paper kind of. Still really cool. Like I said, one of the best aspects of this shoe, in my opinion. I'm super excited to have this box in my collection because who doesn't like? I don't know. I keep my boxes, as you can see. So who doesn't like to have a good Nike box? And the Jordan box is one of the best boxes that we have. So let's look at the shoes. The first thing that stands out to me is obviously this midsole is like way darker than most of the other Reimagineds, or most of the other aged like shoes in general. Like this is might be darker than the Atmosphere Pink or whatever it was called, something pink, washed pink. Might even be darker than that. And I think they should have been saved. They should have saved that for like when the bread gets a Reimagined or something like that. But this almost looks like a Cool Kai, or something like that. Like one of the, I don't want to call them bootlegs, but I guess bootleg style Jordan 1s where the midsole is like significantly darker and not like a subtle off white like the Lost and Founds. Show the difference real quick. Like, there's obviously a huge difference between the two of these. I think that this color, especially since it's, it has just as much white as the Chicago, that it should have, well, it actually has more white because the collar is not white on the Chicago, that it should have featured a lighter midsole, Leave the aging like this for a darker shoe like the bread. Another interesting thing, the Wings logo is embossed or debossed into the shoe, so it's kind of raised. No stitch, no nothing like that. And this one features a trademark logo where this one does not. I don't know what that means. Did the Wings logo, is it up while they were making this shoe? Were they waiting to refile for the trademark of the Wings logo? I don't know. That's interesting. The Nike Air still features obviously the trademark on the tongue. I feel like the UNC has been lighter in the past, but I still really am a fan of this. Like I said, my least favorite part is probably the midsole, and I don't know that I'm a fan of this seems almost gray and not like a white color. It is almost the same color as the Lost and Found, but I think the Lost and Found might be a little bit lighter. But that could just be in contrast to the black here. But this does seem a little bit lighter to me. And the leather here is a lot more cracked on the UNC, but obviously that's just going to happen, due to factory differences and things like that. The collars are about the same as far as aging goes on both of these. Both of these are 9.5, so they should be pretty close as far as details go. So the tongues are pretty much the same as far as aging goes. This one might be a little bit whiter. I'm not saying wider. Features two different laces in the OG fashion that they would have came in 1985. The black toe did also come like this as well. So we have white and then the dark powder blue. Both of these shoes, obviously these are worn once, so you're not going to get the full effect. But both of these shoes do feature the washed outsole. I don't even know what else to call it. It's like a chalky pattern, just to allude to that aged, lost in a box for 40 years look. Overall though, the leather is really good. Pretty good. I'm not gonna say really good, but the leather's pretty good on these. It's gonna be looks like the cracking is gonna hold up, it's not gonna flake off or anything like that. This is not a Dream Cell insole, so don't expect any more comfort than another regular Jordan 1. It's not going to do nothing to write home about. Everything else on this shoe is pretty standard. Where does this sit in my Reimagined list? Lost and Found, Black Toe, these, Patent Bred, Royal Suede Reimagined. If we're talking about Reimagined, the other ones, I got the 5s over almost all of the other Reimagines. Maybe then the 4s, and then probably the Lost and Founds. Overall, though, these are really good. These are definitely worth the $180. We haven't got this color in a very long time, and it's definitely one of the better Jordan 1s in my opinion. I have been waiting for this for a while. Would I have rather had just a white and not this grayish material? Yes. And would I have rather not had a midsole, an aged midsole? Yes. But you got to take what you can get when you're working with Jordan Brand. So now, last but not least, before I show you guys on foot, I am gonna do an on foot, glimpse and tell you guys how they fit. They should fit pretty standard because all the materials look about the same. But I'll try them on because my boy wanted to see what the fit was looking like. It does look like this is pretty close to the powder blue 9 as far as colorway goes. The Pantones are pretty close. Maybe not exact, but pretty close. Close enough for them to be called powder blue. But unfortunately, I can't tell you if it's the exact same because the color codes that are listed on the powder blue 9s is Summit White / black, so it's not listed. But this does look like it is the same Pantone that they use for these. So that's pretty cool. I wish they could work out some rights with like UNC, but obviously they don't want to pay them to where they could actually put UNC on the get the actual Pantone for that and use that exact color and not have to change the name. So we wouldn't have a million different nicknames for all these shoes. Like these are still the UNC 1s to everybody, but it would be nice if it was on the box as well. That's just my opinion though. Let me know what you guys think down below. Did I miss any details on these? I'm pretty excited for these. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which one you like. Rank your 5 Reimagined. Let me know all your thoughts down below. I really want to hear from you guys. I do a pretty good job at responding to pretty much anyone and everyone that comments because I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And this has been another sneaker review from Spence. I will see y'all later, and here's the on foot.